ready for brand stories? Welcome back to BrandsTalk, a show to help you develop and grow your brand in a more authentic and sustainable way, locally and globally. Whether it's your personal brand or company brand, your branded product, service, or your cause. My name is Brigitte Bakowski. I'm a global and personal branding strategist. I help my clients unleash their full potential to effectively elevate their personal and organizational brands so that they can shine authentically. Let's get started and dive with me into the world of brands. My guest today is Sarah Jones Thomas. She is the CEO and founder of Status Design Studio and Sarah Jones Custom Apparel, a fashion designer, educator, and innovator in the custom clothing genre. Sarah is dedicated to serving her custom clothing clients' needs by taking a deeper dive into who they are, what they do, and what they love. A public speaker and previously a fashion illustration professor at UNT, Sarah has over 20 years' experience in the fashion industry. I warmly welcome Sarah Jones Thomas. Welcome to BrandsTalk.
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be here.
Yeah, I'm thrilled too. I think that's going to be an awesome show today. And I've got so many questions. But before we dive deep into the power of nonverbal communication and how we can intentionally use our wardrobe, our clothing to express ourselves in a way we want to be perceived in the world, could you tell us a little bit about your background, about your journey that brought you right here where you are now? So, what's your story, Sarah?
Well, thank you. My story is fairly direct. In high school, when I was choosing what major I wanted, what I wanted to do, I had always loved design and the fashion industry and everything about it. And when you look at the different aspects of it, I decided that apparel design is where I wanted to focus. So that's what my background, my degrees. I have an Associate of Arts and a Bachelor of Fine Arts, both in fashion design. And that led me to working for some other brands. But then in 2008, launched my own label that I wholesaled to specialty boutiques around the country. And then sort of around 2015, went more direct to consumer and started selling not through other stores, but just directly myself. And then post-pandemic, have sort of niched in and realized that while I love having my ready-to-wear collection, my custom clients, the clients that aren't an off-the-rack size, really are so fun to work with, and they seem to really appreciate me getting to know them and really what their needs are and making something custom for them. So that has been super exciting. We just formally launched that in October, but I'd been doing it for a handful of clients just because they asked for the last 8 or 9 years. So that's sort of what's brought me here. But my passion for apparel and how it's just such a tool. One of my favorite advertisements growing up that I would see in Vogue, I think it was for Omega watches, and they would say, "Who will you be in the next 24 hours?" And to me, that just syncs so much with that. I think in movies like costuming, how they develop characters, how they're showing you who this person is, because you have to instantly know them on screen. And it's just it's a fun thing for me. It's like playing dress up every day, but again, you can use it to show who you really are and help them know they need to know your character right away. And it's just been such a fun journey for me. So that's how I got where I am today.
Wow, how interesting. To do what you love is one thing, but starting a business out of that is another thing. So, what was your intention to start your own business, and really why? And what was your journey like? Was it difficult for you to start it off the ground? What was easy? And where were the roadblocks? Would you like to talk a little bit about that? I think for everyone who wants to start his or her own business, that would be interesting.
Sure, I'd love to. I will say, so like I said, after college, I worked during college and after college, worked for some other designers. So I was kind of familiar with the process, but I had made a couple of styles. It was 2008, kind of that summer. I had made a couple of dresses for myself, and really how that came about. I had a consulting job at the time, but I had some events I was going to, casual, but cocktail type events. And really just, again, in my mind's eye, like, if I were to could choose anything in the world, what would I want to wear to this event? And so I made a couple of styles that just really felt like this is what I want to wear to this event. So I made one because I could. And everybody that saw, oh, I love it. Oh, are you selling them? When can I get one? Where can I get one? All this stuff over and over. And I made like a cotton version, I made a silk version, and just everywhere I wore them, everyone just asked about it, and it was a unique style that not the common. It wasn't what most people would wear, but for me, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted to wear. And it was reversible. You could wear it multiple ways. You could wear it long, you could wear it short, all these things. And so I talked to a mentor of mine that I had worked for up at Market, like doing wholesale, and I spoke with her and I said, okay, everyone's saying they love these dresses. What are the steps for me to actually start wholesaling it and producing it? And she, kind of gave me the things like, you need to find someone to make it and quote it for you for, production. You need to, here's, you had 2 styles, you need 5 styles, and do it in the 3 different fabric ways. So we kind of made our little mini collection. So I was like, okay, great. Had that done by the October market, found a space to show it in, and started my journey on retail. But I will say, all of the people that I had seen that had said, oh, I want one, where can I go? And none of them for at least 2 years purchased one. I think maybe 2 years into the journey, like 1 or 2 people maybe did, but I did find out a lot about your target market, because just because somebody likes something doesn't mean that they could wear it or that they would wear it. Mm-hmm. And even, again, it's like all of, kind of that empty talk on things like that. And even the stores that, when I first started wholesaling, the stores that looked at it, they'd be like, oh, this is so cool, I love this. And I'd be like, okay, great, do you want to carry it in your store? Oh no, we don't carry stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, then I don't care that you love, it's like accolades only go so far. It's like, I really do. And in my process, I've found when people actually purchase something that I believe them that they liked it, and it's sort of that level. It's like, you can, oh yeah, that's great for you, not for me, so that's a different, you feel appreciated in a different way when someone likes it and actually purchases it versus, yeah, that's great for you, good job. It's like, it's like your mom saying, oh, you did so good. Yeah. As someone who's a purchasing client, which my mom is a purchasing client, and that was a big mile marker for me, actually. I will say, when she actually wanted styles, I was like, oh, she really likes it, because again, the words, it's different. But so it was kind of an uphill battle as far as really refining who is my target market, who's really going to buy this, who has both the means and then also just the fit. Like, I adjusted the fit too, to say like, okay, the people that love this, they don't want it super tight. They want a little bit more of a relaxed fit. And that was sort of how my journey began. And then I did expand into retail stores across the country, got some sales reps. I had one sales rep in the Southeast that did phenomenal. Just was a selling machine. I was like, good job. So that was great. That was really helpful. Again, I just at the right point to do that and for different things. But yeah, the business, like I said, it's, sometimes you have to work through figuring out who you think your target market should be, and then who is actually attracted to you. And I think even with transitioning to the custom, it's who really, instead of me saying, hey, you over there, you should want to buy my product or my dresses, and saying, wait, but who is attracted to me? Who is like thrilled and excited that I will make clothes for them, and who is coming to me, and then make sure that their needs are being met, and you're focusing on those people. Because again, that 80-20 thing, it really is true on who does that.
Absolutely, it is. I would like to jump on something that you have said before. It doesn't mean if someone likes something that they can wear it, because clothing is really the ability to affect how we see ourselves while expressing our unique identity to the world. So in other words, our clothing, our wardrobe is part of our personal brand style. It makes our brand's outward personality. So together with other visuals, actions, gestures, and words. And brand style is really the way we display our attitude to something. And it's also, and I think that's important, it's also a function of beauty. And beauty is a very powerful attractor. We feel higher and better when we witness and appreciate beauty. And our wardrobe, our clothing underlines this beauty, whether it's inner beauty and outer beauty that goes along with that. So what are some key fashion elements? What do we need to consider that our wardrobe and our clothing underlines our overall brand style?
Well, I want to touch on two things that you said when you touched on beauty. And the good news is that whatever your face and skin and hair and all of the things you're naturally given, the beauty of apparel is that you can use those things to enhance how you are. So no matter how you are, you can use those things to flatter and enhance your natural features. And that part of that is the clothing, high quality fabrics, of course, are going to look better. Proper fit, figuring out what is the fit that is flattering to your body type, what proportions are flattering to your body type, and even colors. What colors? I mean, there's colors. The way to use color you hear like in politics, the power tie. Okay, I'm going to be powerful. I'm going to wear a red tie. Okay, I need them to trust me. I'm going to wear a blue tie. For that as the limited things, and we have all of those things at our fingertips too. But again, also first and foremost, making sure that within those intentional things that you're flattering your own skin tone and hair, all these things, you can really make sure that it's, because the same color on two different people is going to come across differently. So just taking a minute to just, what colors am I drawn to? What colors, aside from their meanings, but first and foremost, do I look good in this color? Does this color do anything for me? Or is it like, take it or leave it? It's not helping, and again, your fashion can enhance all of your natural things for that. But then also within your brand, again, it's communication. Like, what are you trying to communicate? I know a matchmaker here in Dallas, she wears pink. She has like a talk show, she has all these things and just different shades of pink and hearts and all this stuff because she's a matchmaker. So it works for her. It makes sense. That's not going to necessarily send the same message if you're a banker or like a private equity fund or even, really any other thing. Like, there's places where real specific branding type things, and again, back to film and movies, I notice so often characters, they'll like, okay, this character kind of always wears these same colors, like Downton Abbey, like the Mary, she's always wearing kind of maroon. She's always wearing these like deep red maroon colors, the sister's always wearing kind of yellows and other, mother always wearing, what is she? I forgot, but they definitely cast that to kind of keep that character easy to where you come in and easily identify that. So that's a branding tool you can use if there's something, about your style. But again, I think the overarching thing is, what message you're trying to send. And again, a lot of that is you want them to be, if it's investments and things like that, you want them to feel calm and secure with you. You're not necessarily want them to be on edge and excited, but some other industries, you might want them, very exciting and vivacious demeanor and different things. So there's so much to it and so much depth that is, it's fascinating to me. And and the style details that you choose. Are you trying to be more modern and edgy? Are you trying to be more feminine? Trying to be more classic? Just different things that you can be intentional on how you want to come across to the world.
There's also a very good quote coined by Coco Chanel: the best color in the whole world is the one that looks good on you. So I think it's really about how you feel like when you wear a certain color, isn't it? So you really need to reflect and go deep. Who I am. Who I am as a person and what do I want to communicate? And as you say, the style is really, what do I want to communicate to the world? Is it a reflection of my accomplishment? Is it receiving full credit of what I'm doing? That needs to go in line with in what industry I am in. What do I want to represent and what kind of impact do I want to make in my audience life? So I really need to know who is my ideal client, my ideal customer as well. So that needs to get together.
Absolutely. And I love, definitely what she said. Like I said, the color that looks good on you, number one, above what, like again, above the power tie and all that stuff, the thing that looks good on you is by far first. And same thing for style and fit. Again, I think that things that are flattering, too often I think people say like, I'm supposed to wear this, or try to put themselves into a hole where they want to dress like everyone else. And instead kind of take a step back and say, what really serves me? What is flattering to me? Because we're not all cookie cutter people. There's no need to look exactly like someone else, especially in this day and age. There's so much independence. People don't have a corporate uniform so much as they used to. And that's partially, a lot of my clients are women business owners or entrepreneurs, or just in a slightly, somewhat creative space where they aren't having to wear a very strict corporate uniform. They have a little bit of freedom to sort of reflect how they want to be perceived. And I definitely love what you said about you can use your wardrobe to your most unique self, your most genuine self. I know sometimes people say like, oh, well, I'm just going to be me and wear whatever I feel like. But I would urge people to consider when you say, when they're not trying to put on airs or they're not trying to, not be authentic, but consider that your most authentic self is an intentional wardrobe that does, like, who are you on the inside, the people that know you the best and the things they love about you. Most people don't see that if you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt maybe it has something that says it, but again, thinking more so of if you were in a movie and someone sees your character, which think when you're in a business event or something and somebody is meeting you for the first time, they're seeing that character. What have you decided to tell them about yourself before they ever said hi? And possibly even what attracted them to come say hi or to approach you. And, a lot of business things, there's many choices. For most businesses, people aren't like, oh, there's only one game in town. It's like, no, there are tons of every profession. There are a lot of them. So what's going to attract them to you? And I think that most authentic self of you showing that, and whether that's that you want to be seen as a little bit artistic or a little bit different or a little, just your preferences, and even just the quality of fabrics, like you said, the things that are going to last a long time. Not only is that good for the environment to not buy the disposable clothing and really purchase investment pieces that are going to last, but also that quality, again, if you're this Harvard grad MBA starting a nonprofit and you look like you're the intern, you may never get a chance to tell them about that nonprofit you're trying to start. And that could have been a really good connection for you. So I like to tell people, like, don't think of it as trying to put on airs or trying to be anything like that, but more, what is that quality core person that you are and all of your achievements and all of your passions? And how are you going to attract people to find out about that and want to know more for that? So I think looking at that.
Yeah. And there's another quote by Coco Chanel, and she says, beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. Having the commitment to our wardrobe is a decision to be ourselves, which essentially makes us more confident. So how do we get there? To get out and be confident in what we are wearing. And Audrey Hepburn said, to pull off any look, wear it with confidence. So how do we do that?
Well, it's easier. To me, it seems like, oh, here's all you do. It's so easy. So maybe it's easier said than done, but everybody knows what they feel like when they love their outfit, when they have found a dress, a top, something that when they put it on, they feel like $1 million. They're confident. It's the items that are easy to be confident in because you just love how they look on you, or you feel, oh, I invested in this top and it just looks so chic and modern and fun and it's flattering and it's comfortable. Those are those pieces that we love. And I think people don't ever think that my whole wardrobe could just be made out of those pieces. They think like, oh, and then there's just the stuff you have to wear all the rest of the time. But I think the more you build those pieces, that go-to dress, that go-to top, that go-to when you have an important meeting or an important, a date or whatever it is, those pieces that that's my go-to. And if you don't have those, I urge you to whether do it on your own or consult a stylist or get help. But having those pieces make it so much easier to have those go-to pieces. And even if they're the most unique garments, make yourself a uniform that, again, and I don't mean that in like an ugly way, I mean that in a good way, to where your go-to pieces, so you're not agonizing every morning. You're not, oh, what am I going to wear today? Oh, I don't have anything to wear. No, you should know, oh, I have that outfit. That's going to be perfect for this occasion. And that's my passion too, is every garment that I sell and make and everything, I want that to be somebody's go-to, that, oh, I know that this top's going to look fabulous on me. I know I'm going to be comfortable. I'm going to be confident and able to do whatever it is I'm there to do and not be like self-conscious or concerned about it. So all that to say is that confidence comes from, just having pieces in your wardrobe that fit you properly. And that means not, this used to fit and it hasn't fit in 10 years. And I'm just going to stare at it and wear clothes I hate until I get back into that thing. Get an outfit that you love for how you are now. again,
Mm.
whether that's up, down, all around, it is important to dress for who you are now and live in the present. And because then you can be present, not just like, yeah, I bought all this whatever top because it fits me now. And someday I'm going to get back to clothes I love. No, wear clothes. I'm like, drink the champagne, use the good china, like wear clothes you love today. And if you don't have any of those, start to invest in them, or, and it's a combination, and there are styles that even if you lost the 10 pounds will still fit, or you get them tailored. I do believe it is so important for women to be who they are now for
Yeah.
that. And I'm all for self-improvement, but be who you are now so that you can show up now for the people around you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think so too, because style actually changes. I think it evolves with us. When we grow, become more confident, we are going into a next stage of our life. Also, clothing is going to change, our wardrobe is going to change. How often does that happen, or how often is this kind of changing during our lifetime? Is there kind of a rule of thumb, or how do you see
I
that?
don't know that there's any rule of thumb because a lot of it is like whatever stage of life you're in. Are you like a new mom? You're going to wear different clothes than you did before. If you're, have changed jobs. I've had right now, especially, post pandemic, I've had so many clients coming to me saying, I was never client facing. I was always just kind of behind the scenes. I didn't meet with clients. Now my business is growing. Now I am client facing. Now I'm getting speaking opportunities. Now I'm on stage. I'm doing podcasts. Podcasts are becoming more and more popular with a lot of people that are experts in their field. And so they're like, it's on video. What do I wear? And so just those, every time there is some new environment that you find yourself in, oftentimes there's some tweaks to your wardrobe and added pieces. One thing that I do love about my ready to wear collection that I had and different things is that every style, it's like they're, I call them timeless or different things, but still, even myself, like the styles I loved 5-10 years ago, you merge. But the beauty about building a wardrobe that is a quality pieces that aren't going to wear out so fast and stuff is that you can build in pieces and kind of mix and match and just add a new piece, and now it makes these other pieces new again because you're wearing them slightly differently, and you can match them together and you have a new color, or you add for that. So I think it should be kind of like a morphing thing. Very rarely do people, I mean, people do, but very rarely are people like, okay, throw all that away. I'm going to go buy a whole new wardrobe, because that would be very cumbersome, both financially and, Marie Kondo is, it's not everybody has time to go through their entire wardrobe. So if you can just kind of keep it up, and that's what some people do is, you get a new piece for the season, you get a new thing. And like I said, if you can complement the pieces you have, especially again, those purchases you made that were a good quality item that you can wear year after year. It wasn't some super trendy, hot pink fuchsia bedazzled flower that every time somebody sees it 3 years later, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that top. Again, I do a lot of your not so basic basics. Like the top you're wearing is gorgeous, like just a very classic, elegant, a great sophisticated color, different things. And you can add in your fashion, you can add in, statement jewelry, things like that. But I think building that wardrobe and let it grow with you. It's to be just kind of like a fluid, constant thing, and not holding on so much to the past. Because like you said, I know people that, okay, great, they did lose this. Oh yeah, all my clothes, if they're not dry rotted, they're not really the right proportions anymore. The tops are too short, or they're, it's just because even if it's slow, fashion and what's modern and what is, fresh changes, no matter how classic the piece, it's going to over time evolve. And we love that. That's what makes everything fresh and new, and that's why you enjoy buying a new dress or buying a new thing, is because you get to kind of have those little pops of freshness worked in with your current collection.
Yeah, style doesn't change from today until tomorrow because it reflects our identity, and you cannot change your identity within 24 hours. It's something that grows, that evolves, that becomes stronger. You are sooner or later like arriving at your sweet spot, you're living your sweet spot, and your wardrobe is kind of the material thing that helps
Mhm.
you to really live that and show yourself through that to the world. It underlines
Mhm.
that. And Sarah, you also shine through what you're doing, and you're a business owner, a professor and speaker, and what you're doing at your best. Yeah, so you are a strong personal brand. What is it that makes you that to be perceived like that, what you are? What do you think are the core ingredients that make you, and what makes you unique and stand out from the crowd and shine as that personal brand? Now, apart from your wardrobe, I know it underlines you, who you are, but what is it that makes you? And to be so successful in the market and sustain all this competition out there.
Well, I do think part of it is that I love people. And I love, it's so funny, like a lot of our shopping party type things, there's always champagne. There's always, I mean, friends become clients, become friends. Like it's really something I enjoy doing. And what I found, and I learned this a long time ago, the more you know somebody, the easier it is to design for them. So I'm always so fascinated. I love getting to know my clients and their needs and what they're doing and about their business and all of their, what I call all the environments that you're in and what you want to wear in those environments. It's so fascinating to me because the more I know my client, and even like I said, for custom, that I'll do kind of a little intro, like I'll, ask them just some questions about their preferences, and some that seem off topic, but it really does tell me a lot about, the types of things and what they like about different things. And that really helps me to make sure that when we're co-creating or we're designing something together, or when we're trying to find something, that I'm not trying to push my style into them, but more so finding what complements you and what really reflects your personality. And I think, and that's part of with the custom, obviously I spend more time with those clients than I do just somebody that orders something and I send it to them. And that was part of realizing both my strengths and the part I enjoy about my business. And it's like, yeah, let's do more of that. The fun, getting to know people part of it. Because like the best example that I have, which is maybe seems a little silly, when I was still, I was in 2008, 2007, 2008. So I had not yet started my line. It was right before that. But my older sister was getting married and she asked me to make her wedding dress for her. And it was so easy. I was like, oh yeah, I know. I did a sketch, sent it to her. She's like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Because I knew her so well. I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what Jennifer wants. Absolutely. Like, here you go. Here's your Cinderella princess dress. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love it. It was because I knew her so well. So obviously that's an extreme example. We grew up together for a long time. But the same principle applies. The more I know and can get to know some key things, then it's me helping you to wear something that is your most true self and that you're going to be comfortable with, but it's going to accentuate what you love about yourself, and maybe do a little flatteringness to your less favorite parts, and in colors, what you're comfortable, because again, being comfortable, there's one thing to step out of your comfort zone and try something new, and that's amazing. But again, at the end of the day, you want to be sure that it's in the realm of, it's not going to sit in your closet and you actually wear it. And I think helping people to kind of release that about themselves is very satisfying to me. And so I think really just that I enjoy it so much. And I love design. I almost majored in architecture. I looked at where I could dual major in fashion design and architecture, but then kind of later thought, I appreciate architecture. But again, the style line, the fabric lines, how the different grain lines of the fabric will drape differently, and the different properties of that, and just how they feel and how they look and the quality, all of those things that I love. And it's basically like, I could make a wardrobe for myself. I can only wear so many things. And it's like, I get to keep making things, and I don't have to wear all of them. I get to keep creating these beautiful things for other people to wear. Because again, my closet's only so big. So I kind of get to share that. It's like, I get to do all the fun parts, and then I get to do it again and do it again. So I love it. And I love building that relationship with my clients. That is just so rewarding for me. And when they are happy and appreciative. And, when I get calls and texts saying like, oh, I've just got 5 compliments on my new dress I'm wearing, I always tell people like, that never gets old. It never gets old to be complimented on your outfit. It never gets old to hear that somebody complimented an outfit I made. I love it. So I think that does that, getting to know them, and also post-pandemic, not to go on, but I feel like, we had 2 years of ordering everything online and being and not feeling connected, that I think people are drawn to, here's an opportunity. And it is, co-creating and custom designing something is an experience. And again, we make it super fun. But I think that connection and that wanting to feel known and understood. I think that is one of our human longings. And so again, and that's something that I love. That's something I love doing. So I think that sets me apart as offering people their input. They don't just have to show up to a store and say, okay, what are my choices? We can say, you know what? Tell me what you'd love, or tell me how you would change this, or, the sleeve length or the hem length, and really customize it for what you want instead of just having to pick from the options.
Yeah. And I really think what you're doing is absolutely the right way, because it's all about the customer. We want to connect with them on a visual level. That's the key. We really need to know them from the inside out and from the outside in order to best serve them. That is your sweet spot. You can immerse with your customer. You step into your customer's shoes, so to say, and really see the world from their perspective, and then you know exactly what they need, and you have more this holistic view. You need to know more about the customer than just what colors do you like. There is so much more. You need to know the environment they're in the social setting they are in, and everything that helps to best serve them. Yeah, I love that. Great. So we are almost at the end of our show, Sarah, and before we say goodbye for now, I would like to do a quick word wrap with you. Are you ready to give me quick and short answers?
Sure.
Okay. Versatility.
Versatility, always having the right thing to wear.
Yeah, I think it's one of your core values, isn't it?
Definitely
Yeah.
is.
Intention.
Dressing on purpose.
Lifestyle.
Comfort.
Empowerment.
Being in charge of how you're seen.
Cool. And last but not least, brands.
Brands, I think association. Things that people associate with you.
Cool.
So.
I've never heard that before. Great. Thank you so much, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah, where can listeners find you if they want to get in touch with you? And I'm sure there are some out there that would love to work with you.
Thank you so much. Yes, my website is sarahjones.shop. And that, we're redoing our website right now, but that will forward to our Shopify site. And also there's an events page that will show you like what events we're having. We don't have any virtual events set up right now. You can always, at the top of that page, there's a Calendly link that you can always schedule a consultation. I'll do a 30-minute complimentary consultation with anyone that is interested. And I'd love to talk about, again, what their needs are, or just any questions they may have, or we can start co-creating together, whatever they like.
Awesome. Sarah, thank you so much for being my guest today on BrandsTalk. It was a pleasure having you here to learn about the power of nonverbal communication and why women should dress intentionally and use their wardrobe to communicate how they want to be viewed by the world and express themselves in their own multifaceted way for their multifaceted life. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me.